Next, we have relative humidity. Very, very important. And you know the importance of relative humidity because in the starting sessions only we discussed, no, for human comfort, the two major parameters. First is the temperature, second is a RH. Right. So before dealing with the relative humidity, I believe you already know what is humidity. Just now we discussed, no? The moisture present in the air is a humidity, or the moisture content is a humidity. Then what is relative humidity? The name will give you some idea. Relative means it's relating with something. So better to discuss first humidity ratio, then relative humidity. First, let me explain humidity ratio. Then we'll talk about this relative humidity. So it's simple. Humidity ratio is what? Also known as specific humidity. Specific means per unit volume, no? Per unit if you measure, that we can call as a specific. So humidity ratio or specific humidity, both are same. It's a fundamental property in psychrometry that represent the mass of water vapor present in a unit mass of dry air. For example, if I take 1 kg of air, and in that if I got say 200 grams of moisture, so 1 kg I'm just measuring for 1 kg, na? 1 kg unit, okay, means unit volume. In that if I got say 200 grams of moisture, so that I can call as a humidity ratio. And if you want to get the total humidity, we'll multiply with the total volume. So in case of English system, we are measuring kg per kg of dry air. This kg is a air and this kg is a moisture. Similarly, in case of English system, we are measuring grains per pound of dry air. If you want, you can measure in pounds per pound of dry air. First pound is a air, second pound is a moisture. You see, this is, or else you can use the term grams per kg, not grains. Grains is different. Grams, I'm talking to grams. The unit can be grams per kg of dry air. So 1 kg dry air, in that say 200 grams. So the unit can be grams per kg of dry air. Or the unit can be kg per kg of dry air. This kg is a moisture and the second kg is a air. Similar, this is in English, this is in metric system. Similarly, in English system, one can use pound per pound of dry air. First pound is for moisture, second pound is for air. Or else we can use this grains per pound of dry air. So 1 grain, remember, sorry, 1 pound equal to 7,000 grains. This is again unit of English system. So don't get confused. This is not grams, this is grains. So grains per pound of dry air instead of pounds per pound of dry air to avoid confusion. So most commonly in English system, we are using this unit, grains per pound of dry air instead of pound per pound of dry air. In metric system, we are using grams per kg of dry air, or strictly SI, kg per kg. So simply humidity ratio is what? Moisture present in the air for a unit volume, nothing but the humidity. And if you want to know the total humidity, we'll multiply with the total volume at the time of calculation. And remember, this humidity ratio will use at the time of latent heat calculation. Sensible heat will use, drivable temperature will use for sensible heat calculation. Similarly, this humidity ratio to find out, to deal with the latent heat, because if you know the quantity, then only we can find out the latent heat. How exactly? I'll show you in the load calculation, don't worry. At this level, just try to understand these properties. Now we'll discuss very, very important property, humidity ratio. Sorry, my mistake, relative humidity. This is important for interview point of view also. So relative humidity means what? Relating with the saturated condition of air. I'll give an example. Assume that in this classroom, day one, this is the classroom. So day one, I'm measuring the temperature. Suppose I'm maintaining the temperature is 76 degree Fahrenheit. And by using a humidifier, I'm continuously adding the moisture. Suppose with the humidifier, I'm continuously adding the moisture. And after say 1 hour, when I measure the humidity inside this, I got say 10 pounds. You see, degree Fahrenheit, so I'm using pound to avoid confusion. I'm using this system. So, and again after 2 hours, when I measure, I got 10 pounds. Even after 5 hours also, when I measure, I got 10 pounds. It means the maximum moisture possible at this temperature in this room is what? You see, at 76 degree Fahrenheit, 10 pound of moisture is what? Yes, online?
Maximum.
Right. Maximum. The maximum possible moisture content at this temperature in this room is 10 pounds. It means RH is 100%. And I can use one more term. The air is saturated. Remember, when the RH 100%, it means we can say the saturated air. Means the air contained the maximum possible moisture content at that drivable temperature. And remember, we cannot change the temperature. We need to measure at that particular drivable temperature, because as the temperature increases, the holding capacity of moisture by the air increases. And as the temperature decreases, the holding capacity of moisture by the air will decreases. Again, this is related to evaporation and condensation. So at this temperature in this room, the maximum possible moisture contains 10 pound. It means RH is 100%. This was day 1. Now day 2. Now in day 2, just I measure this. I'm maintaining this same temperature, 76 degree Fahrenheit, and I'm not adding any moisture. Just I measure and I got say 5 pounds. So it means RH I can consider as what?
50%.
50%. On what basis I can consider this RH as 50%?
Base is the saturation condition.
Yes, because we know that at this temperature, you see, you cannot measure with a different temperature. At the same table temperature, when you compare the present moisture with the moisture when the air gets saturated, that comparison is nothing but relative humidity. Matlab, what can be the maximum possible and what is the present, that comparison is nothing but relative humidity. And remember, whatever the temperature you're maintaining for human comfort, at this temperature, if you maintain 30 to 60% moisture level, it means you're maintaining comfort. What we all discussed at the starting session. For human comfort, the humidity level should be 30 to 60, na? And below 30, what will happen? Dryness of skin. And above 30, sweat, and the stickiness, the muddy condition. So in both the condition, that is not comfort. So that's the reason the range is 30 to 60. So whatever the maximum possible moisture at that particular temperature, if you maintain 30 to 60, it means you can maintain the comfort with respect to moisture for human. So that's the reason this relative humidity is important. Got it online?
Sir, any relation in between the relative humidity and the humidity ratio?
Humidity ratio is the quantity of the moisture. That is a measure of the moisture. But relative humidity is a comparison of the moisture. Both are humidity only. But one is the actual quantity of that moisture that we can measure per pound. If you measure per pound, you can multiply with the total volume. You'll get the total moisture in the room. That is calculated irrespective of the temperature. But this RH is related to a particular temperature. What can be the maximum and what is the present? That comparison is nothing but RH.
I mean, for example, 76 degree Fahrenheit, we have 10 lb moisture. That 10 lb moisture is humidity ratio, right? The amount.
Yes, you can consider humidity. This 10 pound you can consider as a humidity, total humidity, not humidity ratio, because humidity ratio is a specific.
I mean, unit volume.
This you can call as a total humidity. Total humidity or total moisture present in the room. But if you measure for 1 pound, then you can say humidity ratio or a specific humidity. So both are interrelated. It's not different. But relative humidity means we are comparing with what? Saturated, with the saturated condition at the same temperature. This is important point. You not compare with the different temperature, because different temperature means the holding capacity of moisture will vary. At the same temperature, if you measure or if you compare the moisture level, that comparison is nothing but humidity, relative humidity. Okay.
And this relative humidity is most important when we do the heat load calculation, right?
Yes, for comfort. Actually, this is for comfort. This is one of the parameter for human comfort. So for example, if I'm feeling comfort at 72 degree Fahrenheit, because you see this temperature also will vary as per application and as per human to human. Exactly, we don't have exact temperature for all human being, because we discuss some people will feel comfort at 72, some will feel at 76, some will feel at 68. You see, if a person eating more calorie food, the heat release from the body is high, so he will not feel comfort at 76, he will feel comfort at 68 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so that also depends. So for example, if I'm feeling at comfort at 70 degree Fahrenheit, for that particular condition, the humidity level should be 30 to 60% in between, so that either I'll not feel the dryness of skin or I'll not feel the sweat, means thickness of the skin, thickness means this muddiness. And you see one more point, if the humidity level above 60 degree, it will affect to the breathing also. I have just given some important points. Let me complete this. Sorry, muggy condition, sweaty and sticky, and you see irritated to respiratory system also. Even if the humidity level above that condition, about the 60%, it will affect to even the breathing also. And you can relate this. You see, generally in summer, when you get the rain, sometime in summer also you'll get some rain. Immediately after rain, you'll feel difficulty in breathing, because in summer temperature is high, and because of rain, water also available. So water evaporates and the humidity level extend to maximum. And because of that, we cannot breathe easy. That is one just you can relate. Yes, online?
No, sir, I can relate that design is not the most easy thing. It's a very critical thing.
Talk about precision air conditioning or process control, yes. But for human comfort, we already have the standards. You see, we are in the modern world, so most of the thing is available as a standard. So you must learn how to use that in a proper way. So you are not doing, will not do the research, will not extract the codes and standard. We already have. So we'll learn how to use that in a proper way as per the requirement. That's the reason concept learning is important. And that is also reason why I'm focusing more on the starting topics, because all this will use at the time of load calculation. See what I explained the same. Relative humidity, amount of moisture that a given amount of air is holding by the amount of moisture that is given the amount the air can hold. Okay, means at the saturation condition. And remember, when the air is saturated, one more point, if you want, you can make a note of this. When the air is in saturating condition, dry bulb, wet bulb, and dew point temperature will be same. I'll show you in the psychometric chart. At the 100% RH line, the three properties value is going to be same. I'll show you next only. This may ask in interview. So when the air in saturated condition means when the RH is 100%, dry bulb, comma, wet bulb, and dew point temperature value will be same. Quickly, I'll show you. We'll learn how to use the psychometric chart, but quickly, let me show you this point. I'll show you how to use the psychometric chart, but at this level, you see this point. This line is 100% RH line. This one, this curve. And this 70 is Bettel temperature. Below 70 is a dry bulb temperature. And dew point temperature you will find here. So now, for example, if I put the point here, you see this is at RH 100%, na? This point. So you see this dew point temperature is 70 degree Fahrenheit. Dry bulb temperature is 70 degree Fahrenheit. On the right side, dew point temperature also 70 degree Fahrenheit. This is one important point to consider for interview point of view. But how to use this psychometric chart, we'll discuss now after completing the enthalpy. The next humidity ratio already we discussed. Now this note we'll discuss. Let me complete the enthalpy first. So I think, remember, we already discussed about enthalpy. What is enthalpy? In short, heat content.
Total heat content of the system.
Right, heat content of the system or a substance. Then why we are talking about enthalpy again? You see, this time we are talking about enthalpy for air. And the important point is, remember, the enthalpy of air, for air also it's a heat content. But for what? For dry air and the moisture. That's it. You see, enthalpy will consider for, let me mark the important point, related to the latent heat, total heat content of the air. That includes sensible plus latent. So enthalpy is heat only, but for air, since we discussed the air is what, the psychometry is what property of dry air and moist air. No? So remember, enthalpy of air is a summation of sensible and the latent. Sensible refers to the dry air, and the latent refers to this moisture. Okay, so that will be the total enthalpy of air. And at the time of calculation, we'll talk about the total enthalpy, not just enthalpy of dry air or the moisture. This is one important point. Rest of the thing, you know what is enthalpy. Next.